everyone, I'm here with what's left of our roses after the rainstorm that we had. It rained for about 6 days straight, so they all got wet, and the heavy rain goes and pushes the petals down off of the rose stems, so they got really heavy and really wet and lots of them fell down. But hopefully I can scrounge up enough to make some rose petal jam for us next Wednesday here, and then after that I'll show you what to do with the rose petal jam. But anyway, we're here with what's left of our roses after a rainstorm. It's very nice out today, so that's good at least. So we're going to continue on making the rose dress. So here's what I've accomplished in the last little while here. So we got a nice tube, always good to start out with the tube, and so I think it's coming together pretty nicely. It's using more green than I originally thought, so I'm going to get some more, but it's looking pretty good so far. So we've got a nice tube and then a nice partial tube that I'm working on here. So we're going to do one more of this little cluster and then attach them together to make another tube. And that's what we're working on today. So I've got almost a cluster here. We've got 4 out of the 6 excuse me, that we need to make our little cluster. So we're just going to continue on with that right now. And I hope everybody's been doing good. We had a party for my brother because he's turning 20 on July 4th, but my parents wouldn't be here at that time, so we had a little bit early. Very exciting. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to continue working with some green, and then we will attach them to our rose dress. I've made a whole bunch of flowers because I've got a lot of pink and yellow still, so I've been working on that, but I am running low on our green because it's taking more than I planned originally. But yeah, we're going to continue on. My dad and I went for a swim out in the river behind us. It was a little bit cold, but we always have to swim before the long weekend, so we swam before the long weekend. We did 3 half loops, so you can go a full loop all the way around, but we did 3 half loops. So not bad for a start, but I'll be in it as soon as the weather warms up a little bit. It's still pretty wet out, but at least it's blue, so I don't think it's going to rain as much today as it has been, which is lovely. Yeah, so over the next couple days, I think I'm just going to plan to organize all of my stuff from Calgary. I just kind of threw it all in their bags on the deck, and so now I'll have to go through and organize everything. That shouldn't be too bad. The heavy rains are great for the berries, but not good for the roses. But at least I got a little bit, and I will get a little bit of rose petal jam that we can play with, so that shouldn't be too bad. But definitely not as much as I was hoping, but more than I thought I was going to be, because when I was coming here, I was thinking that the roses were already gone. So there was some roses, which I appreciated, just rained on them. And you can't collect the petals when they're wet, otherwise they just rot instantly. So it's a bit frustrating that way. But I think we can, if it's plans to warm up just slightly and they dry out, I'll be able to get the rest of the roses around and probably make 2 or 3 little jars of rose petal jam, which will be something, and we can play with that, so that'll be lovely. Yeah, very wet this year. Great for the berries though. I was looking at our thimbleberry progress, and they are growing. They've got lots of flowers, and some of them are growing, and you can see them all green, but they're developing, which is lovely. You can see the raspberries developing, which is also wonderful. There's lots of green Saskatoons, so they're coming, which is great. And then we found strawberry plants, which I've never seen strawberry plants on this property before, so that's very exciting. I did not think it would be hot enough to get strawberries this year, but I think we are going to get a couple. I can never jam them though, just because there's like not that many, and their wild strawberries are only like that big. so it's hard picking when there's not fields and fields of them. They're still fun to eat. So we found a red one, and I ate it. It was a bit sour, so I'm gonna let the other ones mature for a week, but pretty cool that we've got strawberries now too. So then we've got Oregon grapes, Saskatoons, raspberries, thimbleberries, strawberries now, and then what else do we have? We got the roses, the dandelions are gone, I missed that, which is fine. And then I know where the blueberries are hiding, but not on this property. I do know where the blueberries hide, but pretty exciting. So we should be having lots of different berry themed things. So every year I pick what I want to do with the berries, and last year I decided let's make pop, because I saw this recipe where you can put ginger root and sugar and kind of make like a sourdough yeast starter, but it's like a pop starter with the ginger root and sugar, and I tried it. They're like, it tastes just like ginger ale, and it did not. It tasted like kombucha at best. I did not like it. My mom didn't mind it because she likes kombucha, but no. So that was a no. Nobody liked that one. So we're going to go less experimental this year, and we are going to make ice cream or something more fun like that. And I was in Calgary, and we went to this place by my house called And Some, or CFO. Never know what the exact title of that place is called, but we had some raspberry rose cake and a rose drink, and that was super fun, but they weren't really smack yourself in the face rose, and I like it when like the rose flavor really like hits you, and so I'm going to try to make my own version there where it's a little bit more potent. It was very good, but it just was very faint, so I want to make it a little bit better. I had a banana drink there, and that was smack you in your face banana, and that was really good, but the rose was less strong, so we'll see if I can do that. Make some rose drinks and make some nice rose cake if we got enough rose jam, and make a couple different things with the rose jam. I always put it on English scones too, just because that's fun and it's pretty and it makes for good pictures for my recipe book. So my recipe book project is a project that I've been working on for a couple years, but haven't really gotten too far anywhere because school is stressful and I kept not having enough time to really get down and do it. But I write all the recipes that I find just on the internet and stuff, and on index cards, so I make all my little changes if I make any, or not. Some of them are really good, like the ultimate Crisco cookie. They're just good, so just write it down plain, and then I take a picture of it when I made it, and eventually I'll print off, when I get enough to get the cheaper pictures, print off all the pictures, and I'm going to put it in a binder to make a little recipe book for myself. Because, you know, like when you look up chocolate chip cookies, you're like, what's the one that was good? Where is the one that was good? I know that's the Crisco one, but still, you know, there's different ones. And you're like, was it Sally's Baking or all recipes, or what's the good one? So I wanted it written down so that I can remember where the good one was. Especially since it's the internet and sometimes recipes that you like leave. So definitely want to continue trying to write my recipe book there. And so the granola was my own recipe, but some of them will be just copycats of other ones. I'll tell you which one's which, don't worry. That's going to be exciting. Alright. Here we go. So we got one nice plain one, so we'll continue on, make another one. Very nice, very nice. I try to weave in the ends as I go because it drives me nuts when they're all at the end. Just like sleeves of clothes, I try to do them both at the same time because it drives me nuts doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I definitely do. So yeah, unfortunately I don't think we'll be able to finish the rose dress before all the roses go away, because this is probably going to be the last day of the roses, if I were to guess. but they'll be there for next year, and we'll wear my rose dress when we're trying all our rose themed food from the rose jam that we made. So that'll be fun, and then next year I'll go and show the rose dress with all the roses. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Just had so much stuff to do. I got my job, yay, and we ended up starting that, and my brother's birthday, and we had a little celebration for the fact that I got a job, yay, and lots of things done over the last 6 days. We were late in the rose season anyway, so they've definitely escaped me before I could get this done, but that's still all good. Very exciting. So yeah, I might go and see if the eagle nest has a little baby eagle in it. I'm not sure, I haven't been there this year yet. We'll see if we can find that. But the next dress I do will be a lot less county, you know, when you have to count every stitch, and then I can talk a little bit more, a little bit easier. This one's a little bit county. I think it's looking nice though so far. Hopefully by next week I'll be like pretty far on the dress, and then you can see how it's looking. So what I do just to measure dresses is I just take the biggest part of myself, wrap it around. So I made this tube, it's the biggest part of myself, slit on the tube, it fits, awesome, and then the rest of the dress will fit. That's basically how I do it. Low calculations, but I'm 40, 38, 40, and so I just make the one tube 40 inches and the rest of it should fit. But I make it exactly 40 inches, like I make them really tight because this is Socknado and it stretches a little bit, and crochet grows over time. So it'll grow longer and it'll grow wider, and so I just make it like super tight and like 2 inches shorter than I want, and then after a couple days it grows. But it looks pretty good so far, and I like how it's got the roses peeking through the leaves. A lot more green than I originally thought I was going to use, but that's the fun part about making stuff up as you go along. You get to revamp and try new things, and it's very exciting, so I'm very excited about it, but I'll definitely get some more progress done by the next video. I've got lots of little flowers done, so that's good. I've just got to attach them all together through the leaves now, so that's fun. But if anybody's getting confused and wants to try and says, I need to know how you attach the leaves together, I will make a separate video on that. But if not, we'll just have a nice chat and sitting by the water where the rose bushes grow. Very exciting. But I'm very excited about the rose petal jam I do have. It's not as much as I would have wanted, but I'm going to kill it with the berries. And the rain is very good for the berries. So bad for the roses, good for the berries. I'm okay with that. Very excited about our thimbleberries. I am going to kill it on thimbleberries. I always only make a little bit and regret it. So I'm going to get out those 1 liter mason jars. We're going to have 1 liter mason jars full of thimbleberry jam. And we're just going to have so much thimbleberry jam you won't even know what to do with the thimbleberry jam. See what we can do with it. Very exciting anyway though. And when I can it properly, it should last a couple years, so it's supposed to be a year, but I found that it's still okay after a couple. Should be good. Very exciting anyway. Such a nice warm day. Unfortunately my parents had to go this morning, so they missed literally all the nice days, but hopefully we will be able to have some fun adventures, and they'll be back, and then we can have some more adventures, so that'll be good. Very excited about the next dress that I'm doing too, because it's very pertinent to me. This one is too, I love it. But next dress is going to be good as well, and it's going to be a lot less county, so I can talk better. That was part of my unplanned, not thought out discussion that I had in the first part of this video. But yeah, it's definitely getting warmer today. I might have to go swimming again, and maybe I'll get my brother to film me swimming around. I swim in my life jacket, of course, because I'm a safety girl, and I can swim, but like, it's not that enjoyable. I don't float that good. I'm like a pug. I kind of sink to the bottom. So I wear a life jacket. It's a bit currenty and stuff too. Don't want to get hit under the rocks. There's just like a couple extra things I have to think about. We've got like a big whirlpool in front, right there. It's a big whirlpool. So it kind of spins around in a circle. You've got to swim hard, otherwise you'll head down to the store, but you've got to swim in a circle. Quite fun. 3, 4, 5. Good, good. Alright, so we're getting to our last one here, so we'll attach it to our single one that we've made by making our first set of treble crochets together. And then doing one chain, and then we've got this, do a nice little join, another chain, another treble together. It's the holiday this weekend, so I get Monday off, which is nice, because then we get a longer weekend rather than a day off in the middle of the week. But pretty exciting, so I'll be able to chill out on Monday as well. The poor Williams Lake Stampeders. That's the one that's more near to us. They're trying to enjoy themselves, and it's been pouring raining. Awful. Alright. Here we go. Good, good. And then we join. And then we'll go and do the last treble together. Be making some fishing videos too when it gets nicer out. I'll see if I can catch anything for you guys. They haven't banned the fires here yet, so I'll be able to show you how I build a campfire, and maybe we'll cook a fish on the campfire like we did when I was younger. So that'll be exciting. That'll put warnings and stuff if you don't want to see fish guts and all that. Pretty exciting though. Alright, here we go. Good, good. Nice, nice. Alright, so now we got 2 of them stuck together. Yay! So this one has 4 of them stuck together. And then this one has 6 of them stuck together. So usually I do 6 of them stuck together and then I attach it onto the other ones. So these are 2 with 6 stuck together. So there's 12 there. It's 1, 6 stuck together. So I'll be attaching them and then attaching it into a tube and attaching my tube onto the other tube. Doing pretty good so far. So my plan with the sleeves is to use whatever yarn I have left. If I have no yarn left, no sleeves. If I have some yarn left, we get some sleeves of some length until the yarn runs out. It is the goal. But we will see what we can do with that. Very nice. Yeah, since I've got 2 attached together there, I think I will leave you guys to it, and I will be back for part 3. Hopefully we get a lot more done, and yeah, I think life will start to settle in now that I've got a job and I'll be working and just be in more of a routine. So today I'm just going to organize all of my stuff from Calgary and into my room, and then we will go from there. Continue crocheting. Nicer day out, so maybe we can do some adventures. see what I can think up for us to do. But I hope everybody's having a lovely day, and I can't wait to see you on Wednesday and then next week for some more crocheting. But have a good time for now. Bye!